All right, first thing we want to do is factor this polynomial. All right, when factoring, you always want to take out your common factor first. So this has an x, take it out. So you got x squared plus 4x plus 1, all times x. Does this factor? All right, nothing really nice makes this expression equal 0, but we need to make this equal 0. So let me try to write x squared plus 4x plus 1 equals 0. And then we're going to solve, because this is a quadratic. If you have something squared plus something, x squared, something x squared plus something x plus something equals 0, which is what we have right now, what we're trying to find, then you just use the quadratic formula to find the x's. So if you ever have a quadratic that equals 0, the answer is always what you get using the quadratic formula. So here we go. So in case you're not completely familiar with it, here's the quadratic formula. It's saying if any time you have a quadratic, so degree 2, and it's something, this is in standard form, something x squared plus something x plus something, and if you make it equal 0, well then the solution to that is going to be this: x equals negative b plus or minus. So the plus will give you an answer, and the minus will give you a second answer. Okay, for both of them, it's negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac, b squared minus 4ac, all over 2a. So you're going to get two different answers. Well, we know that. When you factor this, you're going to get two factors. They're each going to have their own answer. All right? So let's do this. Okay, so I know that a is 1 in this situation, right? This is 1x squared plus 4x plus 1. So a is 1. B is 4, and C is 1, right? So this is 1x squared plus 4x plus 1. So the A was 1, the B is 4, and the C is 1, which means these equations will be x equals negative b, so negative 4, plus or minus. So we're both going to negative 4, but here we're doing the plus, and here we're going to do the minus. B squared, so this b is 4, so 4 squared, minus 4ac. So minus 4 times a times c. This 4 is just the formula. It's not because this is a 4. That's a coincidence. There's always a 4 here. And all over 2a. So 2 times a, which is 1. Here are your two answers. So plug this in your calculator. And we get x is negative 0.268 or negative 3.732 approximately. And so if we did want to factor over here, we could say that this is now approximately what we got, and that still has to be greater than 0. So if I were to graph this, we got, here's x. I have to let's say, let y equal x plus 0.2679499, x plus 3.732051, and now I can graph that over here. This is y, and this is x. Here's one of my factors. When x is 0, I'm going to get a 0. When x is negative 0.2679, negative 0. Well, I better put that a little closer to 0. Negative 0.267949. Okay, we already knew that that was going to be one of our zeros, because when I let this equal 0, when is it? Then that's the answer. So that's definitely going to be the answer when x is 0. This one, when that equals 0, or sorry, when x is that, that's the other time that it equals 0. So definitely negative 3.73 is my other 0. So there are my three zeros. Now I look at the leading coefficient, and I see that it is positive. Positive leading coefficient means that it is going off to infinity like that, which these are all order 1, so it goes down, up, down. And we want to know when is that y value, which is, we let this equal y, and when is that y value greater than 0? Well, it looks like this region and this region. Right, so we can say when
Everyone should work on this.
I could do a number line
With their next 75 minutes.
when x is between negative
And I uploaded this
3.732051
to the
and
classroom.
negative
There's a couple things that we can fill out.
0.267949, and
You
also
can fill out. I mean, I could fill them out, but we kind of
from
did this
0
in class.
all the way to infinity. So,
And then there's some examples here.
oh, when is it greater? Not greater or equal. So I almost made a mistake and colored in that 0 there. So open circle here, but everything greater than 0 will give you a y value that's greater than 0. And anything between these 2 points here will give you a y value that's greater than 0. So not including this, not including that. That's when it equals 0. Everything in between is when it's greater than 0. Let's see. Set notation, we could say negative 3.732051, negative 0.26724949. Put the x in between them. It has to be between those two values, or
if everyone could just give me a shout out
0.
The,
X has to be greater than 0. There. And interval notation I'll do up here. I could just say it's anywhere from negative 3.732051 all the way to negative 0.267849. Also from 0 to infinity. Right, so this is another notation. Hopefully that helps. So definitely you need to know your quadratic equation. Now my type, I couldn't find the key for plus or minus. I would normally just write this as x equals negative b plus or minus the root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. But I thought, you know what, it's actually probably better to put both the plus and the minus in here to show you that there are going to be two answers. But this should take care of it. You could put both answers at the same time. You could say x equals that, and it's going to be those two.